So yeah, tell me a bit about yourself. Yeah, obviously you followed me on Instagram. I don't even know how long for, but you're in the irrigation industry over there.
Yeah. Actually, I've been following you on YouTube for a long time. Then Instagram, it was about 2 months, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been following Waterpro. Waterpro. I've been listening to your videos. I've been watching, learning quite a bit. You know,
Yep.
those lectures you do
The
for
training
your
sessions.
technicians and so on, the training sections. Yeah. Those are
Yep.
very good because they really help me a lot. And you know, irrigation business here in Zambia is almost non-existent, and we don't have anything like what you guys have that side.
Yep.
In South Africa, yes, there is, and that's where I get most of my stuff. I get it from South Africa, and of course, there's big stores that sell irrigation equipment.
Yep.
But we don't have people that specialize in lawn irrigation and are very much qualified like you guys, you know.
Yep.
So I took interest for a long time. I started by being a distributor for pumps, but then I took interest in lawn irrigation. I feel like it's a business that can really blow up here. People, you know how intriguing pop-up sprinklers are and whatnot.
Yeah.
And people are taking interest in them, but there's not so many qualified people, if any. So I took interest and I started learning. I taught myself on YouTube and you know, so I've done quite a number of installations. I'm getting better every day. So so I'm just opening up my first store in about a month at a shopping mall. It's a busy shopping mall, and so I'm quite excited. Though I'm a little pressed because it's it's scary. Yeah, it's scary because I'm taking a leap, you know.
Your first store, yeah, I remember our first store. I used to have a business partner like when we first started out, and I just remember the first store being, yeah, you don't really know what to expect. Obviously, I'd worked in irrigation prior to opening my first store, so I worked for someone else before I opened the shop. These headphones are shit. So have you got a long-term lease, or have you kind of signed a short-term lease, or you're going to be stuck there if it's not good?
It's just not a long-term lease. It's one of those month-to-month payments kind of arrangement. Yeah, I'm just renting.
That's good.
Yeah.
So have you got? Are you gonna fill it with stock, or what's the business model look like? Are people going to come there and you can help them with a design and then they can do it themselves, or is it?
How it's always been for me is I work from home, and I've been doing door-to-door sales. I've been doing social media, trying to reach people out, just people that know people that know people. Most of my clients are clients that I got from another client. So that's what my business model is, and I've done that for quite a bit, and I feel like I'm stuck at a place, and I'm trying to move to that next level, and I just feel like the store is something that will give us that credibility and get us out there as well. Because I know there's so many people that want these systems, but they don't know where to find them.
Yeah, so so I guess one of the big points of difference from our store to a lot of the other stores in the country is that we don't do any installation at all. We only supply the materials. It sounds to me that that's not really a thing that you're going to be able to do. And from what you're saying, it feels like you have to install the irrigation because you wouldn't have any customers otherwise. Is that fair?
Yes, because there's not so many people that install
this system. So you need to do both.
Yeah, I need to be both. Of course, in the long run, I want to be like you, just supplying the material and training people to.
It's the best way to go. You don't get dirty. You don't get sweaty.
Yeah.
And look, I think obviously from what I can understand, that the irrigation market in South Australia must be a lot more mature than Zambia. You're saying South Africa is much more like that's where the big stores are. And forgive me, I haven't. I guess I'm not deeply across the geography. So what's the plan? Are you going to buy your materials through those stores, or have you've got distribution arrangements in Zambia now? Are you working with people to be able to buy the main brands, or where is that all at?
Well, initially when I started, I used to get like we have like big stores that supply pop-up sprinklers, but
Yep.
yeah, you buy them, and I used to buy them from the stores, but I noticed it was cheaper getting them from South Africa. So I started getting them. I established a connection in South Africa. I mean, we have
Yep.
companies like Waterpro. You know, in
Yep.
South Africa, they supply this,
But
and
they'd
I
happily
buy
sell
from
to
them.
you, and you just make a little bit less money than you might have if you buy direct, and then you build up your reputation, and then you can buy more
Exactly.
cheaper. Yep.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's no manufacturer, like obviously the brands that we sell, Hunter, Rainbird, Toro, they're world brands. Are they the brands that you're buying?
They're the brands that I'm buying. Yeah. They're
And
the
there's no
brands
one
that
in
I buy.
Zambia distributing them?
Nobody. And that's the goal for me. I want to be that go-to guy here in Zambia, because we have companies in South Africa, but you know where South Africa is geographically located on the African map. It's right at the bottom. Zambia is right in the middle. You know, we're a landlocked country, and we can export to so many countries around. You know.
I'm gonna have a look now on the map so I got an understanding of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you don't have any, I guess, no ocean border.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what the plan would be to be able to obviously distribute. What's the I guess the climate like? Is it a dry climate? Is there a shortage of water, or is, I guess, is the irrigation needed because, I guess, residentially, if you didn't irrigate a lawn, is it going to grow from natural rainfall, or is it quite dry?
It's half on half.
Yep.
We get rain, and it's also quite dry and hot.
Yeah, same as us. Yeah, I'm just looking at photos of Zambia, the
Yeah.
city now. So the local government would have green areas and grass parklands and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So at the moment, how would that get irrigated? Would you be doing that? Would a business do that, or they do it internally? Do they have staff on staff that do that, or would they contract that?
They have staff. They just have staff, and they get garden boys. Most houses here have garden boys that just water.
Yep.
But
Are they
a
hand
lot of
water?
people, yeah, they hand water. They
Is
put those small sprinklers, and they
just
just
drag
shake
them
them
around?
around the lawn. Yeah.
Is that because the labor cost is so low, it's not worth irrigating? Because obviously, I guess the only reference point I have is Indonesia, going to Bali, and there's a lot of, like, the labor cost is so low that a lot of where you would see an irrigation system, there isn't one, because it would take someone's job away who waters the garden. Is that why? Or?
Well, it also depends with the size of the lawn.
Yep. Sporting field.
Yeah, exactly. And I get so many people complaining about they already have garden boys, people that water their lawns, but the lawn is not watered efficiently.
No, it can't be, because it's depending on someone walking around.
Exactly.
So
tedious.
I guess I want to make sure that I can bring you as much value as possible and take you in the right direction. I think if you can, one thing that's really big, that's been a big point for me, is to make sure that I know what I am in the market and try and stick to that. I think if you're going to target being a distributor, it sounds like you're going to be the person that has to actually break through all the doors in the initial stage. So you're probably going to need to be the installer, the retail outlet, and the distributor. And I think as soon as you can start cutting any of those away and only concentrate on one, and if that's distributor, then I'd concentrate on that and try and set up a dealer network. And maybe you might have friends and family that want to set up shops, and I don't know how that all looks. Eventually, it'll hurt you if you try to do all of them, because you won't do any one of the three well, because you'll be trying to do all three of them well, and your energies will be shared. Over here, there's half the people that we compete with install and they have a shop, so they have no problem. That's one business unit, but I think it's inevitable that one of those sides to the business will suffer. So they might do really well at installation, but we probably dominate them on supply, because it's all we're focusing on. Have you tried reaching out to any of the manufacturers so far around having direct access to the product? Has that been a conversation that's happened yet?
Not yet, not
Yep.
yet. I tried to reach out to a guy in South Africa who works for he used to work for one of these big companies, and I asked him. I
Yep.
told him, you probably have, you've worked for this company, so you probably have access to these guys. Can we reach
Yep.
out to them and see if we can get a good price from them?
Yep.
So he says he's working on it. But the deal that he got me is from the same guys that I'm getting from, but he
Yep.
wants, to cut the discount. He wants
Just drop
a
the
bigger,
margin a bit. Yeah, I get that.
drop the margin a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's hard because like the guys you're currently buying from, they want to still make their margin. And then if you start to erode their margin, then they're going to put a roadblock in front of you from buying direct. So it's a bit of a
Yeah.
tough thing, I think. And I guess ultimately, from my experience, these guys, the distributors, if you have enough money, they'll listen. So if you go to them and say, I want to buy, I'll use US dollars as a measurement because obviously you probably understand that more than I don't even know what your currency is.
Yeah.
If you want to buy 100,000 US dollars worth of irrigation from one company, they'll listen. Like that's a big enough number to go, okay, that's serious. But yeah, you need to have the cash flow to be able to sit that in a shop and hold it. So it sounds to me like, and I don't know your financial position, but it sounds to me like you're probably going to need to do a lot of hand-to-hand combat. Like you said, you're door-to-door. You're going to have to just go out there and sell a sprinkler, pay for another 2, sell a sprinkler, pay for another 3, and just slowly build up your inventory to the point where you've got enough hand or enough reputation to go to this company and say, all right, I'm doing $500,000 US of irrigation sales in my shop now. I'd like to have a conversation, or even if you have that conversation early and just say, look, once we get to this number, like what's the number? Where's the goalpost? Once I get to this number, we can have a conversation. And then you've got a goal to work to. In saying that, I've done that plenty of times with the manufacturers we deal with, and the goalpost generally moves as soon as you get to it. So they say $500,000, and then you get there and they're like, oh, did we say $500,000? We meant $1 million. So you kind of have to do the best you can. So this new shop that you're opening, what will that look like? There'll be irrigation on the shelves, or will it more be photos of what you do and you kind of talk about?
I want a showroom because, like I said, in Zambia, lawn irrigation business is almost non-existent. It's there, yeah, you have people installing and very few projects going around, but people are not aware. So if we can have a showroom and show people what this is all about and the convenience, and I believe people, this is far-fetched for a lot of people, because all they've known all their lives, maybe they've just seen these systems in movies and things like that. So I think they're probably very expensive and I can't get it, even when they can afford them. So I want to have a place where people can come to ask questions. We do a design for them and we give them a quotation.
Yep. So this shopping center, what's the kind of demographic of the people that are going to be shopping there? Are they well off? Do they have enough money to spend the money on the irrigation?
That's the reason why I decided to open the shop there, because it's a very the quality of people that go there, like the well-off people. It's not a shopping mall that you go to and people won't buy it. These are people that will actually buy the product.
They've got money, that's why they're there.
Yeah.
So they would walk past your shop, and then I'm assuming you'd stand out the front and say, "Come in, do you want to come and have a look at my irrigation shop?" And then they'd come in, and then you talk to them about the advantages of selling irrigation.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a very different problem to what we have over here, isn't it? Like, I take for granted the fact that most people know what it is, and then it's just whether or not they choose to install it or not. But like I said to you 10 minutes ago, I think you're really going to be the person that opens up the market or that breaks through. It's going to be a really hard task. Like you're trying to start something that doesn't exist in your country, but it exists in so many other countries. I guess what do you want to know from me? Like, have you got questions that you thought that you'd like me to help you with, or?
Well, I wanted to find out when you started your first store, what challenges did you face? And
Um,
why did you decide to start your first store? Because I know that it's like you're taking a leap. It's probably different than opening your second, third,
Honestly,
but the first one,
it's never easier. So the first store we opened because, just to give you some history, I was working for someone else who had a store, and I worked in their store, and I learned about how it all worked. And ultimately, I wanted to earn more money. I thought I was doing a pretty good job for this person. I asked for more money. It wasn't within their comfortable range, or it wasn't within their budget, so they didn't give me the more money. So I left to start my own business. I think that was probably more driven from a business partner that I had at the time. He was very keen to go and do his own thing. I was kind of happy to stay, and I'm really glad and thankful that he pushed me to go, because obviously I wouldn't have what I have now without him. The we were doing installation, same as you. So we were buying sprinklers from a shop. Obviously, we didn't have to go to another country for the for the irrigation, but we'd buy them from a national. There was a national chain here, a reseller, and then there was an independent, which is the one I used to work for. So you'll probably find this will happen in your country over the. I don't know if there's no national. I'm assuming you'd have plumbing shops where if they build a new house, people go. They got to buy all the pipe work and the fittings to build a new house.
yes,
Those over here, we've got the plumbing shops sell irrigation. So they've started buying irrigation. So I'm assuming at some point you'll build up this market over there, and then they'll see it and they'll try and take it because they're the big nationals with all the money, or the multinationals. So we weren't really happy. There was a kind of a level of service that we weren't getting at one, and the pricing was really inconsistent at the other one. So we decided that it was a good opportunity for us to open our own shop. Thankfully, I had relationships with the wholesalers, and that's really going to be the biggest challenge for you. You need to find a wholesaler that's going to give you the first bite of the cherry, because once one of them does, the rest will see it and they generally follow. Like, you just need to find out who's the easiest one to go first and go get them, because once they start seeing runs on the board, the other ones will look over the fence and go, oh, he's selling all this stuff, maybe we should talk to them. So we opened the first shop in 2008 or 9, and I guess the biggest challenges were we had no money and we had no customers. So I'm not sure if that resonates with you at all, but we had no money. Like, we borrowed $20,000. So the AU to the USD is pretty close. So 20,000 Australian dollars, and that's all we had. So we bought the shelving and the computers, and we made the counter and everything that we needed. And then we went and got all the stock on credit from our suppliers. So we'd signed 30-day trading accounts with all the suppliers. Thankfully, they knew me, and I think I probably got the credit off of the back of my reputation and my integrity that I'd held with them over the years, because I was only 24 years old. Like, I wouldn't be giving me that kind of credit. But we managed to just kind of fumble our way through it. And then in the first month, the building we signed, so this is a big difference to what you've done, I guess. I think what you've done is really smart. We signed a lease on a building for 1 year plus 1 year. So we had 1 year plus a year of options to extend. But the building was, from memory, $47,000 per annum plus GST. So that's our sales tax, our local sales tax, plus outgoings, which is the costs for the stormwater and the sewer and the gardening and all the other stuff. They put that on top. So the first month's rent was $4,300, and the first month's sales was $8,000. So we didn't make enough money from our first month's sales to cover our first month's rent. So it's really hard. It's almost like, I don't know if you've seen those strongman competition where they try and pull a plane or try and pull a train. That first meter of getting the plane started is that first 3 to 4 months or 6 months, especially if you don't have a runway. So you'll see plenty of time in the US or in Silicon Valley. They talk about, they've invested, we got $4 million of investment in our business, and that gives you this runway so that you don't have to worry about making profit for that first period. We didn't work like that. We had to make profit to survive, not even just to pay ourselves money to buy food and pay our rent, but to actually pay the rent of the business, and then obviously to grow the business. So the earliest challenges would have been, cash and customers.
Wow. Okay. That's quite informative.
Hopefully that doesn't scare you too much. But one thing that's very different is that we had a customer base that wasn't ours, but there was 300 or 400 landscapers in South Australia that were putting irrigation systems in every day. So we just had to go talk to them. You're in a much different situation. You have to go teach the community that this exists, then start doing it, then teach other people how to do it, then sell it to them. Which is
Right.
I don't envy you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
We'll just see how it goes. Of course, quite all right. I know for a fact that we won't, get as much business as we hope to get. But I'm ready to go. 3 months, maybe even 6 months. But I feel like now is the time because we're just leaving the rainy season, headed towards winter. Then after that, we'll get into summer. So I feel now is the time to get started.
If we talked about the government businesses before, if those government businesses needed to go buy sprinklers tomorrow, where would they go buy them?
They'll go to Builder's Warehouse.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll go to Builder's Warehouse.
And buy the same brands, or is no one selling Rainbow?
Yeah, the same brands. No, the same brands. The same brands. Those are the ones that come here. Rainbird, the Rainbird and Hunter. Rainbird and Hunter.
And they're being sold from a Builder's Warehouse.
An Orbit.
Yep. Yeah. That's a big brand we sell. So there's no specialty irrigation shops over there.
No.
That's tough.
Like it'll be like mine will be the first lawn irrigation store.
And if you needed to buy the same brands that they have at the Builder's Warehouse, it's better for you to go to South Africa and buy them because it's cheaper than it is to buy them from the Builder's Warehouse.
Yeah. It's cheaper.
Are they the same products?
Yeah, same products. Because Builder's Warehouse get from those same irrigation shops like Turfag and Fluid Run.
Yep.
The same places where I buy it from. So the Builder's Warehouse, they buy from them.
Yep.
That's why they're more expensive.
But they buy more. Because they have to put their margin on. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why I believe this industry doesn't exist or is almost non-existent here in Zambia is was it yesterday? Yesterday I went to the Builder's Warehouse, right? They had MP rotors on promotion. They've had those things on the shelf for over a year. Over a year, and one of them was like $1.50. Those things were on the shelf for 2 weeks. MP rotors.
And what they're selling them for $1.50, as in a US dollar conversion.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'll buy them. Yeah, I know.
You can buy them and send them to me. I'll buy them off you.
I know, right? I know, right?
So what?
And they were there for 2 weeks, and I was like, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So what they're
still there. They're still there. Yeah. And that's how you know that this industry doesn't exist here, and someone needs to break through because the market is wide open.
Is it the Kwacha?
Kwacha.
Is that? Yeah, Kwacha.
Kwacha. Yeah, it was actually 35 Kwacha for one MP road.
35
Kwacha. So convert that to
$2.50 Australian. But yeah, you're right. US dollar, that would be $1.70, $1.50. That's crazy. They'd be losing a lot of money on that because even in America, you can't buy them for that.
I know.
And so you think that's purely because the market's not aware of how good they are and the product?
Yes. So they're just getting rid of them. They're just getting rid of them.
Yeah, you should buy them all. Do you have enough money to go buy them all? I hope people hang them all.
I'll make a plan. But it's one of those corner rotors.
Yeah.
It's not the 360.
Not the 1000 or the 2000 or the 3000. It's the left corner and the right corner. Yeah, they're not as often lit. I guess I feel like there's some gaps in what I understand around what you're trying to do. It seems odd to me that the builders' hardware shops aren't buying directly from the manufacturers. So I'm assuming South Africa is the country that the manufacturers have chosen to set up their distribution hub in. And then I'm guessing all the other countries around Zambia as well don't have the distribution. Would that be fair?
Yes. It's South Africa. South Africa because this industry is more mature.
Yeah. Yeah. So then all like Zimbabwe, Botswana, Mozambique, they'd all be in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd all. There wouldn't be an irrigation industry there either.
Well, not like South Africa, because South Africa is the one that has
It's just such a more established.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the map
while
I'm talking to, just to get a bit of an understanding.
I think the rest are a bit more like Zambia when it comes to irrigation. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could conquer all the countries.
Yes. Exactly.
One country at a time, obviously.
Yeah.
So when you buy from South Africa, how are they shipping it to you?
I order them. Sometimes I ask a guy outside to put them on a bus.
Yep.
Yeah.
On a bus.
Yeah, on a bus.
And is the guy that you're dealing with like kind of in the north of South Africa?
Johannesburg.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not as far. So they drive the bus through Zimbabwe into Zambia?
Yeah, through Zimbabwe to Zambia.
Wow. And that's what's the transport route like for that? Like, do they have to go through checkpoints, or are the borders pretty open? Like, they're just normal transport?
Yeah, checkpoints, borders, just like like when you cross into another country.
You go passport. Yep. Boom, boom,
passport
boom.
and everything. Yeah.
It's just very foreign to me, literally. Obviously, Australia has no bordering countries that we can get to without leaving, because we're completely surrounded by the ocean.
Yeah.
So for us, we go the closest. I mean, New Zealand's probably the closest, and we have to fly there. You can't drive a bus to New Zealand, so it's just interesting to see how that's going to go. So, whereabouts? What part of Zambia are you in?
I'm in Lusaka.
Right. Okay, so that's the main town, main city.
Yeah, it's the capital city. Yeah.
Yep.
The main. Yeah.
I'm just looking at it now. What's the population there? Like, is it it's the biggest city?
It's the biggest city. It's the biggest city.
How many? Do you know what the population is roughly?
Roughly about. I think should be about a million. I think. Can you Google that maybe?
Yeah, I'm googling it for you. 3.186, 3 million, but that's probably the whole of Lusaka. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just trying to get some context. Obviously, so Adelaide, which is where I'm based, is in South Australia. The whole state of South Australia, which is very large from a square meter standpoint, would only be half your population, if that. So I'm just trying to get an understanding of, if people are living in apartment buildings, and if the population density is quite dense, or if there's a lot of people that have lawns and gardens, and how the irrigation market's going to look. Because the reason I was asking you about the local government is it's interesting to think whether or not the local government, they need to buy their irrigation from somewhere. So why can't that be you? That's why I was asking what I was thinking. So, but it looks so. I'm just looking at. It's so funny to be talking to you and looking at the map at the same time, like looking at all the industry. So there's a lot of industry around the town.
Yeah. Are you looking at Google Maps?
Yeah.
Google Earth. Yeah. Like, you see, there's a lot of green, huh?
Yeah, definitely. But the green's kind of on one side, and then the other side, it's just all buildings. And there's what does it say? Export groups and animal feeds, and like just a lot of sheds, and obviously that's the industrial area.
Yeah,
it is. It actually says on the industrial area, like is it Mulobela?
What's that? What town?
And George, like next to Lusaka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at like treatment. Yeah, so there is a lot of greenery. Okay, so all those houses, and all the houses have all their gardens. Super green.
A lot of houses have gardens, and that's why I believe the market is wide open. It's just people are not aware that they can get the systems.
Oh, that looks like a nice area. Is it Kalundu?
Kalundu, yes. Very close to where I'm at, actually.
Is that where the money is?
Yeah.
They look like bigger blocks of land. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the shopping mall,
Yeah.
shopping mall that I'm gonna set up is at East Park. I'm sure you can see East Park over there. It's an
I've
East Park
got,
shopping mall.
yeah, great. The University of Zambia.
Zambia, East Park is right next to
Yeah,
University of
right next
Zambia.
to it. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense. See, that
very
the
good
other thing, that's
location.
like that university has to be buying sprinklers. Like they've got grass areas. And what's
Yeah.
that behind there? There's just a grass area. It looks like an airport, just a park.
Mm, yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, oh, you've got a golf course. Okay, see that there, that Chainamar Hills Golf Club.
Chinama Golf Club. Yeah,
Yeah, they
Chinama
would be
Golf Club.
buying. They would be buying sprinklers. They'd have to.
Yeah,
That there's no way that that's being hand watered.
yeah, yeah.
So that,
I've
so,
I've
so that
actually I've actually I've actually supplied sprinklers to those guys before.
you have. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you want. Like that's, and that like, is golf? I can't see any other golf clubs around. Oh, there's another one. Is
Well,
golf big?
yeah,
Lusaka Golf Club.
yeah. There's Lusaka Golf Club. We've got Bonanza Golf Club,
Yep.
Chinama, and should have another one somewhere.
So if someone was going to install a new irrigation system at a golf club, who would do that? Would someone come from South Africa and do that, or would you have people over
Like,
there?
yeah, like because there's no credible installers around here.
Yeah, because it's just
So
not something that people have
yeah,
learned.
yes, they've gotten they'll get someone from South Africa.
Yep. Yeah. That look, and that's not foreign for me either. I think that South Australia would probably be in a position, and like there are people that could do it, but a lot of the bigger golf clubs, I think, would choose to use someone from another city, a bigger city that's had more experience with it. But that's yeah. So what's your long term goal then? Like, obviously, are you working for someone now? Do you have you're running your own business now?
I'm running my own business. I have been running my own business for quite some time, just trying
Yep.
to break through the market.
Yep.
Yeah.
In irrigation or in other areas or?
Pumps and other areas as well.
Yep. And
Yeah.
mainly supplying, or have you done installation as well?
I've done installations and supply.
Yep. Yep.
I started first with pump distribution.
Yep.
Distributor for companies like Davis and Shredlift. I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's Franklin Electric as well.
Yeah, definitely Franklin. Yep. Is Grundfos big over there?
It is. Actually, Davis distribute Grand Force.
Yep.
Yeah. So then from pump distribution and installation,
Yep.
you know, I shifted over to lawn sprinklers because I feel like there's a huge gap in the market. A lot of people are supplying, bore pumps, booster pumps, but not sprinklers. This is something that needs to,
Yeah, the pump industry is it's quite an interesting one because there's so much diversity. It's not just pump shop. There's industrial, and then there's obviously wastewater, and then you've got agriculture, and there's so many different areas that you could go. And I'm by no means fully versed and educated on pumps, but pumps are part of our business, and Grundfos is a brand that we do sell. I'm just trying to get my head around, like, if Grundfos is distributed there, why isn't Rainbird distributed there? And is it just because it's just a different climate? Like, you do need pumps because there's a lot of high rise, or there's a lot of bores, or like, why are pumps more often sold than sprinklers at this point, from what I can understand?
Well, because municipal water is not reliable. Like it's not safe. Yeah.
Yep.
So a lot of people choose to drill bores and also because municipal water, there's usually like they'll give you like water for a couple of hours a day, maybe like half the day, and then the night they'll shut it off. And then
why is that? Is that because it's just badly managed?
Either that or there's a lot of water. I know there's a lot of water here in Zambia.
Yeah. I'm just thinking,
well,
and I don't know if you even feel comfortable commenting, but whether or not there's, like the people that are in charge of the water, if like in Australia, if there was no water in any of the houses for more than an hour, there'd be outrage. There'd be government getting phone calls, and I'm interested. I guess I've been watching a lot around Cardano, which is a cryptocurrency that. Have you been looking? Do you watch cryptocurrency? Are you across what's happening with cryptocurrency around the world?
I'm not fully vested in it, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yes. So Cardano is one
Bitcoin,
that they're really focused on Africa. Like they really want the guy that invented it, Cardano's got a real focus on like almost reduction of corruption using cryptocurrency and improving the way voting's done in countries that maybe don't have a secure voting system, or getting currencies into the hands of the super poor so that they can start creating, a better life for themselves. So I was just interested to hear if that's kind of reached your ears and if that's floating around. Just when you talk about water, like it's such an unbelievable concept to me that there's people living on Earth, and I know that by no means is you in the worst position for that, but that don't have fresh water coming to their house guaranteed every day. So are these people that are drilling bores, are they just taking that on their own, under their own? Yeah, and they're not. Do they have to get approval from the government, or they just stick a hole in the ground and start pulling the water out?
Well, of course, there's a process you have to go through. Before there was nothing like that. You can just drill a borehole. If you've got a piece of land, you can drill a borehole. It's fine.
Wild
but now,
West,
but now you have to, there's a government body called WARMA, and you have to, pay some fees and whatnot.
Yeah,
you have to.
That's why you have to apply for the approval. It's nothing to do with them caring. That is what the money.
Exactly. Got
to keep the money flowing. No, I think it's important to know where all the water is getting sucked from, because obviously all the water is coming from a common, storage facility or storage area or aquifer. And if everyone's pulling water at the same time, eventually there could be no water, and you don't want that either. That's really interesting. So how long? When's the shop start? Is that soon?
About a month.
Yep.
About a month. Yeah.
So are you gonna do the shopping center help you at all with the display and the shelving, or is it you just have to?
No.
You get your room and you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And will that be 7 days a week, or are you gonna just work every day now?
I think for a start I'm gonna do 7 days.
Yeah.
I think for a start I'm gonna do 7 days a week.
And with that shop, if the shopping center is open, does your shop have to be open?
It's not a must. The shopping center is open like 24 hours all the time.
Yeah.
So it's entirely up to you as a shop owner.
Yeah. So you could go. So there's I'm assuming there's food shops in there and jewelry shops and clothing shops.
Yeah.
So they could be open 24/7. They could be.
They could be. Yeah.
Yeah. But no one is.
I mean, yeah. I mean the clubs that are open, that very shopping mall, that are open like all night long.
Nightclubs. And they're in the same shopping complex. So pub, like restaurants and clubs. And,
pubs. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm very excited to open that space, because just very soon they'll open a bowling alley right next to where I'm at. Yeah. So I feel like there'll be a lot of traffic. Right now there's not much traffic, and that's why I'm getting like cheaper rate.
A good deal, yeah.
Cheaper rate,
Is the shopping center
I
new
want to
or
open before?
Yep.
Well, it's quite new, like maybe 2 years, like 2-3 years.
Yep. So it's more a case they're still filling it all out. Kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'm getting like a it's a small shop, but for a start, that's somewhere that to want to get momentum from.
Do you have eBay and Amazon actively being used over there?
Yeah, I use eBay.
Are you selling on eBay, buying and selling on eBay?
No, I'm not.
That might be worth looking at. When we first opened the first shop, a large portion of our initial income came from selling pumps on eBay.
Oh wow!
We found that was a really good source because obviously we were able to ship. I don't know how easy it is for you to ship to the other countries around you, and I'm guessing the threads are the same and the power outlets are the same all through Africa. Is that?
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Yep. So you could sell it. You could buy a pump in Zambia and sell it to Mozambique,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could ship that.
Yeah.
And because in the early days you have a lot more time than money, right? Like at the moment
Right.
you've got no customers.
Yeah.
If you can get access to one of those pumps that you used to be able to sell, it doesn't cost you much to list it on eBay. You might find that you can start generating some smaller incomes initially. And in some cases, if you can be really smart about it, you might be able to buy that pump from South Africa after you've sold it on eBay and then ship it, so you don't have to pay the money until you've got the money. Dangerous line though. You don't want to buy. You don't want to have something sell and then you don't have it. But you never know. You might be able to sell some stuff before you actually need to pay. Well, you might get the money before you actually have to go buy the stock. Or even better, you sell it on eBay and get the company in South Africa to ship it direct to your customer. That's. I mean, I'm assuming you're across drop shipping. So yeah, have you got? So are you going to have staff or friends and family just going to come and like how's it?
Yeah, currently it'll just be me and what my guy, just one guy, one guy.
So if you're in the shop and then you win a system, you have to go install the system. You just close the shop and go install it, or
no. I've got guys outside. I've got installers. Like
so he does all that. Yeah.
So we're gonna have someone in the shop full time. And we've got guys in the field as well.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that
we're gonna be growing it like both ways. We'll grow it in the store, distribution, and also outside of the installers.
You know, one other thing that we that did really well for us when we were installing is if you have printed out, you print out leaflets like advertisements on paper. And when you're working at a house, you go next door and put the leaflet under their doormat or put it in their letterbox and say, "Hi, we were working next door. We've just installed a new irrigation system at your neighbour's house. This is a bit about irrigation systems. Nice. If you are interested, give us a call and we can quote you on one for your house." Because what you'll find, and this has to be culturally anyone in the world, people want to do better than their neighbors. So if their neighbor has just spent some money on an irrigation system and gets signs and have signs out the front that say, Loveday's installing irrigation systems today, right here, and then you can put magnets, like fridge magnets, on the sign and say, "Please take my magnet. It's got my information on it," so they can take that and put it on their fridge. And so when they're thinking about irrigation, they're like, "I remember there was a guy. I can't remember his name. Oh, there's a magnet on the fridge," and then you might be able to get some work from that. And people like there's a thing called social proof where if they see you work at someone's house nearby, they trust you, because obviously if the lady at this house trusts you, then the man at that house next door, he knows the lady, so they trust each other. And if one of them trusts you, then the other one's going to trust you. So you might find that word of mouth that you were talking about earlier becomes a lot more effortless when you've got. All you need to do is your guy that puts the stuff in, when he's packing up his tools, quickly run and put a couple of pieces of paper in letterboxes in the same neighborhood. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes, but you're getting in front of some more people. But just an idea.
Wow. Sounds good.
So is there anything else I can help you with? I'm just conscious of time.
Okay.
Is there anything else that you want to ask me? Or I guess I'm not. You've obviously got access to my Instagram, so I'm more than happy to answer any questions as they arise. But yeah.
All right. Let me see. What do you know now that you didn't know when you first decided to open your shop?
What do I know now that I didn't know then?
Yeah.
I think the first thing that comes to mind, and there'd be 100 things, is that I had this I think unrealistic view that the world wasn't ruled by money, and that the manufacturers that we were dealing with, if I was a nice guy or I did the right thing, that I would get rewarded with support or exclusivity or something. And ultimately, the more I spend time in the industry, the more I realize that, especially at the manufacturer level, a lot of the times the companies that we're dealing with are shareholder-owned companies, or they're CEO-driven companies that answer to a board. And it's like dealing with a bank or a telephone company or an insurance company. There's no real human, like you deal with humans, but they can't help you because it has to go up the chain and up the chain and up the chain.
Right.
So ultimately, the best way to get what you want is to sell the most amount of shit. And if you sell the most, then people will come watching. What else is there? I expected that we would have had a lot of customers come over to us when we first started, and they didn't. I would advise you to, I guess, set some goals and some budgets around what you're hoping to do, and then divide them by 4. And if you can survive with a quarter of what you think you're going to make, then you'll be okay. I think a lot of times, especially young business owners, and when I say young, I don't mean like your age, but you're new to this business, you might not have a deeper understanding of how much money you do need, or how hard it's going to be to go sell those systems, especially in winter when it's raining and everyone's going, well, why do I need an irrigation system? Like, my lawn's green, it's raining. So I guess try to aim for the stars, but be able to pay for everything that you need if you don't hit the stars. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else. Put me on the spot now. Things that I've learned. You can't, I probably knew that, but it's really important to remember that you can't do anything truly great without people. And the business that you're in, like the people that work with you and your teammates, will be the difference between you being successful and not successful. And I guess here for us, people have a lot of choice, and they can go work at lots of different areas. And obviously beyond that, the government will give you money if you don't work in Australia. So there's a lot of social security and government support. Now, that's not why I treat my staff well. I think that it's important to come to work and enjoy what you do and go home happy and safe. But yeah, the people that are around you are going to make the difference between you being really successful and maybe just doing okay. In saying that, you can be an asshole and treat people badly, and you'll probably still make money. I think it's different. So yeah, that's probably the 3 answers. I'll probably think of something really good later. If I do, I'll put it on Instagram and say, hey, Loveday. Is it Loveday? Is that your name?
Loveday, yeah. Loveday.
Yeah, I'll be like, Loveday, I've just come up with something else. But yeah, if I remember, I'll put it on Instagram later.
All right, awesome. And just one other thing, what characteristics do you think you possess that
I possess?
Yeah, that drove your success, like that put you in the position that you're in right now?
I think it's funny. Like, if I ask my team about that, this answer they'll disagree with. But I remain calm a lot. There's going to be a lot of things that happen to you in business that you don't expect. And sometimes I'll fly off the handle verbally and just be like, but deep down inside, I'm remaining quite calm. There's everything that happens will happen and go past. And I think one of the quotes that I keep going back to is, this too shall pass. Everything that happens to you in your life and everything that happens to you in your business is going to go away. So if you're having a great time, enjoy it and make sure you're saving for the future, because at some point it's going to be shit. And if you're having a bad time, you just got to remember that you're only another couple of sleeps away from the world getting better, unless something really tragic happens. And obviously, I'm just talking in general business, but you're going to lose jobs. You're going to have staff leave you. You're going to have staff steal from you. You're going to have people break into your building and damage things. There's things that are going to go wrong. So it's just important to try, I think, to remain calm. That's something that I try. I would say I'm charismatic, Duffy. I'm getting a nod from my video guy. I love people. Like, I truly love being around people. I struggle with energy. Like, if I spend 2 days deep in my craft just typing and doing budgets, I get really, like, not depressed. I've never been depressed, but I don't feel as energized. I get the majority of my energy from shaking hands. And that's COVID was really hard for me because I want to touch and hold and kiss and shake hands and hug people. I get a lot of energy from that. So it's made it really easy for me to communicate because our customer base is recurring. What you've talked about today is maybe recurring, but if one person gets an irrigation system installed at their house, they're then they might not do it again for 10 years unless something breaks. We deal with the same people every day. So I've built really long-standing relationships with people that I would call my friends because of the connection that I have, and it makes business really easy because I'm dealing with friends every day. I get to wake up and help my friends run their business every day, I think that's pretty cool.
Wow. What's your daily routine?
What's that?
Your daily routine.
I don't have a solid routine. I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I've got 3 children, so I've got an 8-year-old and I've got twins who are 4. So they generally emerge from their bedrooms at 6:30. I'll have a shower in the morning. I don't have breakfast. I drink a double shot coffee and then generally spend a bit of time with the kids. I'll come to work. So I've got 3 locations and 2 of them are my bases really. So I'll either come to the one I'm at now or the other one in the morning. It takes about 20 minutes to drive there. I'll record in the car with Clint, which you would have seen on the YouTube channel. I'll then probably record some vlog content as well. And then I'll generally listen to some audiobook or a podcast. So I might listen to some Gary Vee. I don't know if you've seen any of Gary Vee's stuff, but
of course.
Have a look at, I'll listen to his podcast. I'm doing a lot of learning at the moment around NFTs and cryptocurrency, just trying to understand how that goes. Then I'll get to the location. I'll spend some time, kind of, like I said before, I love people. So one of my biggest risks is I'll spend an hour catching up with everyone and just talking about what they're struggling with and what they're doing. And then I sit down to actually have my day. I'm trying to create more structure around my day because I've got 33 or 34 staff. I don't get to see everyone every day. And I'm at a point now where I need to be really clear on the strategy of the business and then communicate that with the staff. And I'm not good at it. I've always been hands-on. Like I've spent exactly what you're about to do. Installing the irrigation myself, working behind the counter myself, buying the stock myself, putting it away myself, paying the bills myself, ringing customers myself. And I often get drawn back to that because I love it so much. So my daily routines, it varies a lot, but generally I'll eat like 5 times because that's why I'm so fat. You probably can't see it in this video, but I just eat. I'm always eating. And then I'll work. So every day is different. So I'll either do a training day or I'll record content with Duffy or we'll mow a lawn. I'll work on some budgets. I'll go through some stuff with some staff around strategy. There's human resources issues all the time. I'm dealing with staff that aren't getting along with each other or customers that have got a problem with a staff member or I've got trucks for delivery vehicles. A truck drives into a fence or hits the house. So it's very operational and just like getting text messages and responding to that. And then I'll leave generally around 4 o'clock. So around now, I'm able to be a bit later tonight. My wife was here earlier and we've talked about it. And I'll make sure that I'm home every night with my children to put them to bed. I go do weights training, like lifting weights. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I'm about to start training Wednesday as well. And then I'll go home. So I'm home by 5:15 at night. I spend an hour and a half to 2 hours with the kids. So I'll read books or we'll actually look at Instagram stories together. Like my daughter Lucy likes to watch gymnastics. So I'm a bit worried about like my Instagram feed is just like young girls doing gymnastics, and I'm a bit concerned about if someone looked at that, what they might think. And then my son, he's Connor, who's the twin, he likes monster trucks, so it's just monster trucks jumping dirt, and then girls doing gymnastics, and lots of lawn and sprinklers on my Instagram feed. But so I'll make sure I spend time with them. It's not something that's if I miss that night, I don't mind, but it's really important to me to see them. And again, it goes back to that need for me to be around the people that I love and to be able to hug and hold and touch. Like when I'm deep in my craft and I'm working, I'll miss a couple of nights. But usually what I'll do is I'll go home, spend time with them, and then I'll come back to work. So at 7:30, once they're in bed and I'm back, I can drive back here. I can do 2 more hours till 10. And I generally try to be asleep between 10 and 11. So I'm getting, 7 hours sleep for me is good. 6.5 is fine. I had 6.5 last night. And then I do it again. I work Monday to Friday, like that. Saturday I work in the morning here, and then Sundays is exclusively reserved for family now. We don't book things in on Sundays, so that's about it. There's no real. It's never the same. And I did that. I don't know if you would have seen it, but I did a day in the life on the YouTube, on YouTube, and it was a case that it wasn't a day in the life because it was just like, do you know what I mean? It was just it was an example of a day, but every day is different. And I don't really go into a lot of them with a grand plan. I have a few appointments, and the rest of it's kind of filled out. I need to have a better structure. And Lisa, who you would have got the email from, she's my assistant. I've never had an assistant before. It's all new, and she's never been an assistant before. So we're still trying to learn how to work with each other and how to be more efficient. But once we work that out, and I get good at managing my time, my competitors better watch out, because I'm running on like 10% focus at the moment because I get distracted. I've got 2 pinball machines in my office, so but yeah, that's a day in the life. I honestly, man, I think what you need to do, what works for you. Like, I think that and look, I expect that I hope to move into a space where I'm talking more and helping people like you and saying, look, this is what I think you should do and you could do this. But ultimately, I know people that make more money than me working less than I do. Right? So if it's around money, there's 100 ways you can make money. But I love what I do. And so I've got a big goal. Like, I want to do $100 million a year. So I just get to wake up and do this every day. Like, I get to play. So there's no real, I think the reason I don't have structure is because I go do the things that make me happy. I go do the fun stuff. And sometimes that means that we're probably not growing as fast as we could, but every day I'm having the time of my life. Like, I love Mondays. I don't wake up and go, hump day. It's funny, a mate of mine posted hump day on Instagram today, and I know he doesn't. He hates Fridays. He wants Mondays. So, but I say that tongue in cheek. So yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing because one of the reasons why I follow you a lot and I listen to your content. I feel you're a lot like me. Growing up, I didn't realize that I was dyslexic. I only found out after uni. I was always fatigued when I was reading. When I was in class, always distracted, always trying to concentrate, and it was a struggle. I like what I heard this from somewhere. Someone said living school was like breaking out of jail, and I could relate so much.
Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't find school a challenge. I enjoyed school, and again, I think it comes back to the fact that I got to spend time with people. Like, I was always with people. I love being around people. So it wasn't, Gary Vee talks about how like school was a real struggle. Like, he didn't want to be there. He just wanted to get out and operate. I was quite different. Like, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, I don't have a learning difficulty. I've never been diagnosed with any attention deficit disorder or any spectrumized. There's a good chance I have something because I'm always all over the place. But yeah, I just I definitely I had a guy work for me that was dyslexic, and he was extremely dyslexic, and he really struggled. And I understand, like, yeah, we try as much as you can to. I think if you've got a learning, if you want to call it a learning disability like that, you kind of have to make your own way sometimes, because then you get to choose what path to take. You don't have to kind of follow society's path, which that's all we know. Yeah. So sorry, I'm just texting someone. So yeah. Anything else? Anything else you need to know?
All right. I know there's something I wanted to ask you just now.
Look, I'm happy to help you out with some introductions as well. Like, if you're struggling to get a back door into a company and you want me to, I can hook you up with some guys. You're on LinkedIn, I'm guessing.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I'll try and.
It's not a flashy profile. It's just plain.
Yeah, look, I think spend time on LinkedIn. Like, I'm posting there every day. I'm not engaging as much as I should, but I'm busy. But I think what will happen if you start posting regularly on LinkedIn about what you're doing, and someone in our industry sees it, you never know what might happen. You might find that someone approaches you and says, "Hey, look, I know you wanted Rainbird, or you wanted Toro. I sell Schmoro. It's kind of similar. We're looking for a distributor in Africa. Would you be interested in having a shot?" And you might have to start there and work your way up to Toro or Rainbird or whatever. But if you're not putting yourself out there, mate, I bought a business 18 months ago, a landscape supplies yard. So kind of like a builder's hardware, like you talked about. Like we sell pavers and timber sleepers and aggregates and rubble and sand. It's called Railways. The only reason that happened is because I was on YouTube talking about how I wanted to open another business in that direction. And the person who owned the business saw the video and rang me. We did a podcast actually. And he said, hey, are you interested? We're not actually looking to sell this on the open market, but we'd love you to buy it. So I found for me, putting out my goals and dreams on YouTube and on LinkedIn and on Facebook and on Instagram, it's not silly because people will see it. And you never know, someone might message you and go, hey, you seem like a good guy. How about you sell this for us? Or how about you help us with that? Because what you'll find is you might not have lots of money now. And I don't know your financial situation, but based on what I'm kind of hearing, you're not going to go buy $500,000 worth of stock and stick it in a warehouse and start a distribution company. But you might find that there is someone that has $500,000 worth of stock that doesn't have your drive. That's like, look, I've got the money, you've got the time. Can you sell this for us and I'll give you this much of it? So you might, but you're not going to get that without putting your I guess, goals on out there. So I'd start talking more regularly on LinkedIn about what you're trying to do and what you're hoping to do. And you know this, I'm not telling you anything new. If you're following any of Gary Vee's stuff, start documenting that whole journey all the time. Like, I wish I had photos I wish I had more video of us in the first shop. Like when you said, like, you know, what didn't you know that you know now? Like, I'd love to have documentation of me going like, we don't know how we're going to pay rent this month. Like, I need to sell $12,000 in the next 2 days or we're in trouble. And then be able to reflect on that, and it gives you some good perspective because you can look back and laugh and go, remember when we couldn't pay rent and now we're here? Or now we still can't pay rent, it's just a lot more money. But yeah, I just think you would benefit from that. How many connections have you got on LinkedIn? Is it all local? Like, is it all very much in your country?
Yeah, it's just local. Most of it's just local. My country, and people that I know.
What you'll find is if we connect, and then I can introduce you to a couple of the guys that are over here. If as bad as it is, if someone gets a random connection request from someone in Zambia, they're not gonna accept it.
Yeah.
But if you're connected with me and then they're like, hey, this Loveday guy's here, right? I'm like, yeah, man, he's not trying to rip you off. It's all good. You'll start to build connections, and then it's amazing the relationships that you can build on the internet. And I love the fact that, like, you think about how crazy this is that you and I are in two completely different countries talking about you hoping to do what I'm doing on the internet because you found it through YouTube or LinkedIn. It's insane. Like, and I've been really excited to do this all day. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to talk to people and go, hey, have you tried this? What about this? Have you tried that? Like, and how cool is it going to be for me to stay friends with you and in 5 years go, no shit, he's now the Rainbird distributor, not just in Zambia, but all of Africa. And he's got this warehouse, and then COVID's finished and I can fly over to your house and you can make me dinner. You can make me dinner.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I just love that. And we're in the most beautiful time from a commerce standpoint. And I encourage you to keep posting get more on LinkedIn. Have a look at eBay. I don't know how mature the eBay market is over there. And if it's because a lot of the time eBay is just a race to the bottom and there's not much margin. But if you've got an exclusive product like a Franklin pump and they let you sell it on eBay, you might be in a really good place. So they've got really good reach. So anyway, I better run. If you think of anything else, don't hesitate to send me a message on Instagram. And maybe we'll have another chat like this, I don't know, in 6 months and just catch up to see how you're going.
That'll be great. Yeah. Cool. So about the connection, you said you wanted to introduce me to some of the guys.
Connect with me I'll find you on LinkedIn now. Look, and I'll introduce you to these guys. It doesn't mean anything good's going to happen. All I can do is put you in touch with them because they might have existing relationships over there that I don't understand, or they might, I don't know. Loveday Nelson Mumba.
Yes.
Mumba.
Yeah.
That's
but I think there's I think you see two of them, right? I think there's one that I'm not using.
There's that one there. Where is it?
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
I think you need to. I don't know what your yeah, definitely put some energy into your profile, get your photo fixed, put a bit of a description about, like, I would if you look at my LinkedIn, it'll say like what I'm like, landscape irrigation, that kind of thing. I'd be putting something in there like you know, growing the irrigation industry in Zambia or something, so that people can read it and they understand what you're doing. And then yeah, I'll try to connect you with a few people and just say, look, Loveday is a good guy. He's in Zambia. He's trying to do some irrigation work. I just thought it might be beneficial for you guys to have contact with each other. And then if you reach out to them and ask if they can help you with something. If they can't, they can't. But if they can, they can. They might even be able to help you negotiate a better deal for you to buy, or put you in touch with a reseller that's going to help you. And then I guess just don't spam them. don't message them every day. And you know, not everyone's going to be as willing to help you as me, but that's what makes Earth a beautiful place. Everyone's different. So anyway, I better go. If you, like I said, and I mean it, if you need to, message me on Instagram. As you've seen, I'm pretty attentive to my Instagram messages. If you've got any questions, or you're struggling to find something, or you need help with a design, and I guess if there's any other, you know how we're doing the video, like the training videos on YouTube, on Waterpro's YouTube channel. You know how I do this?
Yeah.
If you can think of anything that you think we should do, that you're stuck on, or like how to put this together or whatever, let me know, because I'm always looking to do more of those videos.
All right, that'd be great. That'd be
cool.
Great.
All right.
Something.
Well, you better go to work now.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, Clint. Sorry, I just.
That's all right. I was like, where's he gone? He just left.
I clicked on the LinkedIn because I'm using my phone. Yeah.
All good.
So I saw your invite and clicked on it. So thank you so much, Clint. I truly appreciate your time. I know you're a busy person. You've got better things to do, but thank you so much for your time. I was actually because nobody is doing what I'm doing here, and there's no one to look up to. So when I found you, I was like, this is exactly where I want to be in the next 5-10 years.
That's awesome, man. That makes me really happy. You'll get there. Just honestly, keep your head down. Keep posting, and if you need anything, let me know.
I will. And maybe you can check out our page maybe you can give me advice on that as well on Instagram.
Where?
Melville.investments.
Yep, I've just found that Melville. Hang on a sec. I'll give it a follow now and I'll have a look at it. Honestly, you need to just be posting a lot. How many Melville? My dad's middle name's Melville. You said, is it Melvin?
Melville. MELVEL.
VEL. Melville Investments.
Melville Investments,
Yep, I found it. Followed by you, 133 followers.
Yeah.
There you go. Looks good. Everybody counts.
Just trying to put out content every day.
Yeah, I reckon make the text and the logos a bit smaller on the photos. Instagram's it's a photo site first, right? That's what it was originally for photographers to share their photos. I think if you put more of the text in the body, which you're doing, and you've got all your hashtags are good, you'll find that you can see the photo more. Like I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh, what's that orange? Oh, that's like, I'm trying to see more. There's some fittings there, so that would be the only feedback. CapEx. So all that irrigation, you've purchased that from hardware, South Africa. Yeah. That's crazy.
Not the plumbing. The plumbing we get it from here. Just the sprinklers, the zone
pipe,
boxes and
that pipe with the blue line on there. Are you using that for your sprinklers, or is that a main line that you're putting in?
The poly pipe, it's main line.
Yeah, okay. Is it hard? Because and those fittings that you've got there, the blue, you know, the ones with the blue nuts on them. Is that what you're using? The poly pipe.
Yeah.
So you put your sprinklers on that?
Yes.
Have you got the push-in fittings with the clips?
No, we don't have those yet.
Oh man, I'm going to change your life. I don't know if you'll be able to get low density poly pipe there, but there's definitely some stuff there. We deal with a manufacturer. I'm actually having lunch with a guy tomorrow. I'll talk to him about you. They manufacture here. They manufacture poly fittings, but they export them around the world. I'll have a chat with him and see if he's got a relationship with anyone in Africa, because you could be definitely doing things differently. I think it would just be dependent on the availability of the pipe, but I'll have a look at it and I'll come back to you.
All right.
All good.
Yeah, I mean, you know where Zambia is situated. I mean, we can.
Yeah.
We can make a plan
Get a bus.
and see how we can. Yeah.
Get a bus from South Africa. That's cool. I've always wanted to go to South Africa, so just come through South Africa and head up and see it.
Sure.
So,
No,
beautiful.
but of course you can fly into Zambia.
Do you follow Casey Neistat on YouTube?
No.
He's a YouTuber. He's got about 10 or 12 million followers. Unbelievably good videographer. He was over there a fair bit. His wife's from South Africa, so I've seen a lot of South Africa through his videos. So hope I can travel again real soon. I hate being stuck. It kind of, like I said, and I've said it 100 times, I love being around people. So I love meeting. I'm the guy that goes to France, and instead of looking at the Eiffel Tower, I sit in a pub looking away from the Eiffel Tower, and I care more about the two people that I meet in the cafe or the pub than I do about the Eiffel Tower. I'm about people, not about places. So, but I have to go to the places to meet the people. Anyway, I better run. All the best. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you really soon.
Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you for your time.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, sure. Thanks. You too.